Audio Jungle.
Case against man accused of murdering UTech student Anissa Dilworth pushed back to January 2026. The case against the man accused of the murder of University of Technology, Jamaica student Anissa Dilworth has again been postponed in the St. Catharines Parish Court. When the matter was called up, the court was informed that the voluntary bail on the indictment for the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions is still outstanding. The clerk of court also informed that the passage of Hurricane Melissa disrupted the process. Acting Senior Parish Court Judge General Nelson Gale ordered the accused 29-year-old Jamar Grant further remanded until January 23, 2026, when the case will be mentioned. Grant, otherwise Kolbala, of 9 Miles, Bull Bay, St. Andrew, and Snagoville, St. Catherine, is charged with murder and kidnapping. Allegations are that on May 7, Dilworth was last seen going into a taxi. 10 days later, on May 17, the skeletal remains of a woman were found on the beach in Hellshire in Portmore, St. Catherine. Tests and DNA analysis were conducted and the remains were confirmed to be that of 20-year-old pharmacy student. Grant was arrested and subsequently charged. Melissa forces change to alleged cameras check-in point. With his house in Westmoreland impacted by the recent storm, Enico Campbell, who is facing lottery scam-related charges, has received court approval to change his reporting station to St. Elizabeth. Judge Keisha Grant Price approved the request made by Campbell's attorney Michael Hemmings on Monday and extended the accused man's bail until January 20, 2026. Grant Price emphasized that all other conditions of Campbell's bail remain unchanged. The case was scheduled for transfer to the St. James Circuit Court on Monday, but the move was delayed after Campbell's mother, a Westmoreland resident who was to stand surety, failed to appear in court. Her absence prompted the judge to extend Campbell's bail until the next hearing. Campbell faced charges of possession of identity information and possession of an access device. Court records indicate that the charges stem from a police raid on October 29 at a two-story home in St. James. Campbell is a resident of that parish. The allegations are that officers searched a room where he was present and discovered a silver phone on a dresser. Campbell allegedly provided the passcode, allowing police to access identity information stored on the phone, reportedly belonging to individuals residing overseas and linked to lottery scams. A blessing. Mother and 3 children receive container home after Hurricane Melissa. As the sun set in Westmoreland on Saturday, a mother and her 3 children, left without shelter after Hurricane Melissa ravaged their home, received the first of 2 repurposed shipping containers under the Adapt a Family initiative. The delivery marked a critical turning point for Vernice Puran, who had lost everything during the storm. Spearheaded by Member of Parliament for Westmoreland Eastern Dr. Dayton Campbell, the Adapt a Family initiative aims to pair corporate and private donors with impacted families, providing them with items to help with their storm recovery, including food, clothing, and shelter. The aftermath of a hurricane is measured in more than damaged infrastructure. It is measured in shattered lives and loss of dignity, stated Dr. Campbell, watching as parents step inside the first time. What we're doing here is more than providing shelter. We're restoring a sense of security, a sense of normalcy, and the fundamental belief that a community will not leave its most vulnerable behind. This is just the start. Our work continues until every family has a roof over their head, he added. The first home was donated by Tara, who provided not only the unit itself, but also a bed, food, hygiene items, clothes for children, and water, a holistic approach to immediate relief. The container home is a lifeline, complete with a functional bathroom, a small kitchenette for meals preparation, regular and solar lighting, and electrical plugs. For Puran, a mother of 3 children, the moment was overwhelming. Before this, the sky was our only roof, she shared, her voice thick with emotion as her children explored their new, safe space. We slept not knowing what the night would bring. Now I can lock a door, I can cook a meal for my children, I can give them a bed. This is a blessing I cannot put into words. Thank you is not enough. Playfair Scott emphasized that her donation is a catalyst intended to inspire a wider movement. When I saw the devastation and so many now without a home, I knew I had to act, Playfair Scott stated. Venice is a mother that was trying to protect her children in nothing but hope. But for every displaced mother like Venice, there are hundreds more. We cannot stop here. To the end, she has launched a GoFundMe campaign to fund additional container homes for other displaced victims of the hurricane. This is about community on a global scale, she stated. Every single donation, no matter the size, gets us one step closer to delivering another key, another roof, another door, another home to a family in desperate need. A second container home donated by reggae artist Buju Banton was slated to be placed for another mother in need on the same day. However, the visibility issue brought on by the rain and total darkness and debris-choked roads in the area prevented the heavy crane truck from gaining access. In a testament to the determination driving this initiative, Dr. Campbell confirmed that crews will work throughout the week to clear path, with delivery now scheduled for the coming days. Hurricane Melissa to adversely affect domestic GDP growth, but Jamaica's financial sector resilient, says BOJ. The Bank of Jamaica BOJ says Jamaica's financial sector is in a position to absorb the negative impact of Hurricane Melissa, which it says is expected to adversely affect domestic GDP growth over the coming quarters. The BOJ, in a media release, pointed out that tourism and agriculture are among the key sectors directly impacted by the hurricane. It added that households in the affected sections of the country are expected to experience weakened debt service capacity, potentially leading to an uptick in non-performing loans. The BOJ said in assessing financial system resilience, it conducted stress tests and systematic risk evaluation to guard the financial sector ability to withstand credit, liquidity, and market risk shocks. According to the central bank, the preliminary results indicated that the respective financial system subsectors possess sufficient capital and liquidity to afford the negative impact of Hurricane Melissa and to support the uptick in cash demand as the recovery efforts commence. It stated that while institution-specific factors, including internal policies and risk appetite, many result in varied approaches to the provision of customer relief, financial institutions are well positioned to support the recovery effort. This includes currency supply, processing of verified insurance-related payments, and where appropriate, offering temporary deferrals of credit-related facilities. The BOG said it stands ready to provide the necessary liquidity support to deposit-taking institutions should the need arise and to maintain orderly conditions in the foreign exchange market. Notwithstanding the negative impact on credit quality, the deposit-taking sector remains well positioned to absorb this deterioration owing to historically low non-performing loans, high levels of provision, and robust capital positions. While insurance claims are likely to increase, this should not significantly impair insurer surveillance due to strong reinsurance coverage coupled with low property insurance penetration in some affected parishes. The BOJ stated that the overall impact on the economy is anticipated to be mitigated by financial transfer and gifts in the kind from several jurisdictions and agencies to aid the recovery and rehabilitation process, as well as the activation of the government's disaster risk financial framework, which could provide significant budgetary support. Meanwhile, the central bank noted that climate-related shocks will remain a significant risk to Jamaica. It said to address this risk, the authorities have committed to measures aimed at strengthening the financial sector's climate resilience in long term. Financial system supervisors will remain vigilant, actively monitoring the risk and evaluating appropriate policy responses to preserve financial stability in the context of increasing frequency and intensity of natural disasters. Additionally, financial system supervisors will ensure that climate risk mitigation and resilience are effectively integrated into the business models of the financial sector. These efforts form part of a broader agenda to enhance systematic resilience and to protect vulnerable sectors. To subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.